Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We are going to be kickstarting our first tutorial finally. And on today's video, we are going to be drafting a basic bodice pattern directly onto the fabric. This method will work for basically any size garment, whether you're making the garment for a child or an adult. You will definitely be able to use this method to get the right bodice pattern. To achieve this pattern, we are going to need the following measurements: the bust, the waist. The waist is the smallest part, not your natural waist, the one where the jeans sit. No, you're gonna need the small waist, your smallest part, right? And then you're gonna need your shoulder to shoulder and your shoulder to waist measurement. If you haven't checked out my video on how to take your own measurements, please do check it out. I'll link it up here somewhere on the screen. So yeah, check it out. It will give you a nice guideline on how to take your own measurements if you don't know how to do it. And I'll link it in the description box. So now let's get started. Over here I have 1/2 meter of fabric. You can choose any type of fabric that you want to work with. So this is what I chose. This is Duchess satin, and that's what I'm going to be using for today's video. This is 1/2 meter of the fabric, and I'm going to fold it in half, and this is what we'll get. And then after folding it in half, we are going to cut the edge of the fabric. Basically, we are going to trim it off. Make sure you cut it straight, okay, because you're going to need this for your garment. So firstly, we're going to trim this off. Okay, this is not straight. Okay, so we folded the fabric in half. This is the side that is not on fold, and this side is on fold. So you're gonna take this side that is on fold and you're gonna fold it once again, right? And then after folding it, make sure you leave at least 3 centimeters for the zip allowance. So as you can see, we have space over here. So this is where your zip allowance is going to be. I usually use 3 centimeters as my zip allowance. So we're just going to measure 3 centimeters going all the way down. So we're going to measure 3 centimeters. Going all the way down. And that is where your folded fabric is gonna lie or sit. So there we go. And now the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna trim the top part. Make sure that it's also very straight. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Just trim it quickly. You can use a ruler if you are worried that you might not get it to be as straight as you want it to be. But I'm just going to measure with my eyes. And yeah. There we go. So now the zip allowance, the fold is on here. And the zip allowance is on there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start off by using our shoulder to waist measurement. We are going to measure it from the top going down. My shoulder to waist measurement for the mannequin is 41, and that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to measure down and get to 41, and I'm going to mark it. Measure from the other corner as well, 41. and then you're gonna measure it. Measure from this corner as well, 41. And there we go. So this is where your 41 is going to be. Okay, so this is your shoulder to waist measurement. This is where the shoulders are going to be, and this is your waist measurement. So now we are going to say shoulder to waist measurement divided by 2, which is going to be 20.5 for me, because my shoulder to waist measurement is 41 for the mannequin that I'm going to be using. So 20.5 lies here, and I'm just going to mark it and leave it like that. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to measure from the folded part, not from the zip allowance, from the folded part, shoulder to shoulder measurement. So your shoulder to shoulder measurement, you are going to divide it by 2. My shoulder to shoulder measurement is 36. 36 divided by 2 is what? 18, I think. Yeah, so I'm going to measure from the folded part, not from the zip allowance, from the folded part, 18 centimeters going there. So we're going to measure 18, and this is where my 18 lies. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to measure where your 20.5 is. Try draw a straight line that will finally align with your shoulder to shoulder measurement. And then you're going to join the 2 together in a straight line. This one as well, straight line. I hope you can see. And now you're going to measure from here going down 2 centimeters. So where your shoulder to shoulder measurement lies, you're going to go down 2 centimeters. This is where my 2 centimeters is. And then we are now going to go to the neckline. This is going to be your neckline. You are going to measure from this corner, go to the center, corner, going to the center, 7 centimeters. This is where your 7 centimeters lie, and do it all around. So measure from this corner, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. From this corner going down, 7 centimeters. Even here, measure 7 there, measure 7 and 7, and then you're going to join it. This is your neckline. Now where you marked the 2 centimeter line, you're going to join it to your neckline. So you're going to join this part to that part. You see now it's coming together. So that is your neckline, and that is your shoulder line. Now you're going to go and measure from the shoulder measurement going down. Measure how much that is. Mine is about 20. So I'm just going to try get the center of this. Okay. Actually, yeah, the center. And then from that center, you're going to go in 1 inch. So now where you put your 2 centimeter mark over here, you're now going to go in and try to curve with this. And then stop there, and then go in from this corner where the 2 lines meet, that 90-degree angle, go outwards from it, 2 centimeters out. That is 2 centimeters. And then you're going to join your curve to that 2 centimeter line, and then you're just going to shape it out like that. Okay. And then what you're going to do now is you are going to take your bust measurement and you are going to divide it by 4. My bust measurement is 87. So I'm going to take 87 and I'm going to divide it by 4. 87 divided by 4 equals 21.75. So I'm just going to round it off to 22 centimeters. Now you are going to say, remember that line that you drew the halfway mark from your shoulder to waist measurement, that 20 that you marked, or 20.5. You are now going to say your bust measurement divided by 4. Mine is 22. You are going to mark where 22 is. This is where my 22 is. So we're going to mark it right over there. And then you're going to do the same thing with your waist. You're going to divide your waist by you are going to divide your waist by 4. My waist is 68. So I'm going to say 68 divided by 4. And it's going to give me 68 divided by 4. It's going to give me 17. So now we are going to go down to the waist. And we are going to say, remember, you start counting from the folded line. You know, not the zip allowance, the folded line. You're now going to measure from there, going outwards, 17 centimeters. That is where your 17 centimeters is. If you are working with a stretch fabric, you can just basically join that line, your bust line, to your waist, and you will be okay. But because this fabric does not stretch, I want to put a dot on the fabric. So now our dot is usually 3 centimeters. So we are going to add an extra centimeters from where we marked 17. We're going to add the 3 for the dot. And then you can join the two together. And now if you want your garment to be super tight, you can maybe just add 1 centimeter before you add your seam allowance. If you want it to be a bit loose, you can add 2 centimeters plus your seam allowance so that it fits very loosely. So depending on how you want the garment to fit, you'll add however many centimeters you feel like you want to add. Right now, this is like a perfect fit, but this fabric does not stretch, so you might be a bit uncomfortable. Again, so yeah, you might be a bit uncomfortable. So I would actually just advise you to add a centimeter or 2. You can add 2 centimeters plus your zip allowance, so which is 3 centimeters. So we have 3 centimeters going all the way down. And then back to the waistline. The front usually dips, sorry, not the waistline. The front usually dips in more than the back. So for your back, you will probably mark it on the halfway mark of the 0.5. So it's going to be like that. So this will be your back and this will be your front line. Okay. And then on your back, you can maybe just do this a bit. Actually, no, let's cut it. Now you can cut. When you start cutting, please cut the back first so that you know where your mark is. So we're just gonna cut that. Now that we've cut this, we can now remove the back from the front, and then now we can start shaping the front. There we go. And now the last thing that we're going to do is from the waist, where the zip allowance is, you can measure 1 inch from the waist going upwards. So we're going to measure 1 inch here. And then we're going to shape this 1 inch like that. And then we are going just cut it off. The reason why we do this is because the back is usually shorter than the front. So now we are done. The shape looks a bit weird. You can chop it off a little bit. So there we go, guys. For your lining, we are going to replicate what we did here. So you're going to cut your lining the same way, and you're going to cut the front the same way as well of your lining. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't checked out some of my other videos, please do check them out. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions regarding videos that you would like to see on the channel, please don't hesitate to let me know. I decided to join the panels together just to show you what it looks like on the mannequin. I'm sorry, I know my mannequin is red and the fabric is red. You probably can't see properly, but I'll just try a close-up. So as you can see here, there's a bit of excess on each side. So I didn't print this side so that I can show you. You'll just have to take it in from the inside. So it will create a dot like that going. You get it? So even this side, we're gonna stitch it that way. I hope it makes sense. So yeah, man, there we go. That is it for today's video. Thank you.